I saw John Green on Monday, which was awesome, and I got him to record my little Good Morning Girls It's Wednesday, and he was really nice and smart. So I'm gonna have him talking for most of the video because I don't have anything else to say, and he's a really interesting person, and I want him to talk as much as possible in this video. And he said like 3 times don't put anything on YouTube, but I wasn't recording at that time. But I do have the challenge, so my challenge is whoever I roll, I'm stealing the challenge from the 5 Awesome YA fans. Their link is in the sidebar. If you could take one book and turn it into a movie, what book would you choose, and do you think you would like the movie? Quick roll. 5. Megan, stop complaining about not being challenged. I'm really happy I didn't get challenged this week, and now I'm going to get challenged 4 times. Sierra the 13th, I have a final at 1 p.m., so I don't think I'm going to be able to see you in the city. Sad face. But that doesn't mean that one day we won't eventually meet up. Okay, I love you girls. Ashley, I'll see you tomorrow.
Famous, like if in your heart's desire is to kind of be famous.
Right, which is like completely, and I say this lovingly and respectfully, and with like a warm, open heart, and telling you that it is not just you, it is also me, like that's crazy. There is no good reason to want to be famous or to like try to do something for reasons of notoriety. The reason that you want to be famous is not so you can make a difference or so that you can live forever. There is no forever. There is going to come a time when there are no human beings in the world to remember that there were ever human beings who did anything. There is going to come a time when no one remembers who Plato was, let alone you. And like until we learn to grapple with that sort of terrifying reality, we will always be afraid of obliteration, which is precisely why we're apocalyptic about the swine flu today, and we were apocalyptic about the year 2000 and the year 2000, and we're apocalyptic, if you follow YouTube, about the year 2012, because that's the end of the Mayan calendar, and then the world will purport to the end. I mean, but you know, let us get down on our knees and pray to God that we live in 2012 today. But the reason that we are afraid of these things is because we find it very difficult to grapple with our own oblivion. It's really difficult to hold honestly and meaningfully the fact that you should struggle, that you should work and fight to make the world better, not only for yourself, but for people you love and for your communities. You have to do that. That is your responsibility, your moral responsibility as a human being, is to make the world not only better for yourself, but for other people. What we want, ultimately, I would argue, is not to be known. It's not to be like beloved by strangers. What we want is to be acknowledged, to have other people acknowledge that our pain is real, that our joy is real, that our fear is real, and to understand that those things are as real to us.
I'm almost done.
Okay.
Almost done. Because isn't the correct reading of the text as close as it can be to the
No!
reading of the text?
I see where you're going, and no! I admire your incredible perseverance in attempting to convince me otherwise. You and so many people who like seem to really deep down believe that the book does not belong to them but to me. I'm telling you, man, it does not belong to me.
Do it.
Pleasure. Reading is not something that we do merely for pleasure. Reading is something we learn to read critically because it allows us to better understand what it's like not only to be ourselves, but most importantly to be other people. Like we have this gigantic problem as a species, which is that I spend my entire life living inside of my head, right? Like looking out of my eyes with my consciousness. I have no idea what it's like to be you, and I can never, ever know what it's like to be you. In fact, on some like very visceral level, I can't even know that you're human. Precisely because it's not the words on the page there. It's the words that aren't on the page, right? Like, what does Bella look like? She looks like you know? Like, she looks like whatever you look like. And like, what does Edward Cullen look like? We know exactly what Edward Cullen looks like, right? He sparkles in the sunshine. We know about his marble skin. We know about his hair. We know his eyes change color. Like, huh? Oh yeah, I read all. Well, you know, it's sort of like a professional courtesy. So that's, I would say, like, we know, like, we can imagine what it's like to be Bella in a way that, frankly, you can't when you watch the movie. Yes, in the back.
Do you like Stephenie Meyer's work?
Yes.
In your opinion,
Yes. The question was, do you like Stephanie Meyer's work? Yeah, I do. I don't. I do. I get a lot of flack for saying that I like it, but I do. I think those books are really fun to read. The last one, the last Twilight book, worried me on some level. I think that if your boyfriend watches you sleep, that's unhealthy. I'm not kidding. Like, and I think that like if he tries to prevent you from seeing your friends, that's unhealthy. And like it's important for y'all to know that that's unhealthy. That, like those behaviors, those behaviors do not. Hear me when I say this. Those behaviors do not indicate love. That fixation on you is not the same thing as love for you. And a lot of times we can conflate those ideas, and that it can lead to very unhealthy situations, particularly for young women. So it's important for you to know that like someone being fixated on you and even obsessed with you is not the same thing as someone loving you. So don't confuse those things just because they get confused in those books. But they are fun to read. Now Andrew Fangirls are going to tell me that he really does love that. Yes.
This is kind of random, but dedicated to the New Jersey. Why are you here?
Why am I in New Jersey? The question is why am I in New Jersey?
I know. For the library conference.
Sick, and I was like, I want to go closer to swine flu. The first is to read. Reading is the only apprenticeship we have. It's the only way of learning how to tell a story in a way that works, right? Because when we read books, we see how other people have done it, not just today, but for the last 500 years, for the last 1,000 years, for the last 3,000 years, whatever it is. Read, read, read. This is not only true for writers, by the way, but also for other people. Reading is also one of the central apprenticeships we have of learning how to be a person, I think. So that's useful whether you're writing or not. The second thing is that you have to try to imagine your audience as someone other than yourself, which is really hard, but you have to write for people. Not to them, not at them, but for them. It has to be a gift. I mean, a story has to be a gift in order to have meaning in someone else's life. And that means not only imagining your characters as like full, complex people, but also imagining your reader as a full, complex person. So those are the two things that I would say. I should stop, but yes.
It's a quick one. On
Yes.
your way out, can you do your happy dance?
On your way out, can you do your happy dance? I would love to, but I mean, I hate to say this, but I'm so sick that like I'm about to pass out. So I don't think I can do my happy dance, but I did it in my most recent video.
Yes.
Good morning, girls. It's Wednesday. That was stupid.
Yeah.